Good morning everyone. I am Rihana Anjum. Currently I am pursuing my first BTech in Srinivasa Ramanujan Institute of Technology in Anantapur. Now I am going to talk about introduction to power plants and the working of hydropower plant. So let us know what is meant by power plant. By using an external source to produce an electricity is known as power plant. Basically there are four types of power plants. They are steam power plant, hydro power plant, nuclear power plant and fuel power plants. Steam power plant means by using an external source like coal to produce an electricity is known as steam power plant. Hydro power plant by using an external source like water is known as hydro power plant. Nuclear power plant by using an external source like uranium 235 is to produce an electricity is known as nuclear power plant. Fuel power plant by using an external source like diesel is to produce electricity is known as fuel power plant. So let us see what is meant by hydropower plant. By using water to produce electricity is a hydropower plant. Here main source is water. By using water we are going to produce some electricity is known as hydropower plant. The main components of hydropower plant are reservoir, dam construction, dam gates, intake, penstock, turbine, powerhouse and generator. So let us see where actually hydropower plant is constructed. A power plant that utilizes the potential energy of water to generate electricity. Hydroelectrical power plants are generally located in hilly areas where dams can be built easily and large water reservoirs can be made in a hydropower plant. So basically these hydropower plants are constructed where the running water is present, because here water is the main source to produce electricity. So these type of dams can be power plants can be constructed near the dams where water is available for to produce electricity, and a waterhead is created by building a dam across a reservoir or lake. From the dam is fed to water turbine. Working principle of hydropower plant. It uses the potential energy of water stored in the reservoir. The water from the reservoir flows through a penstock and is then forced through a nozzle before reaching the turbine. The hydraulic turbine converts the kinetic energy of water under pressure into mechanical energy. Then turbine shaft is coupled to generator that generates the electricity. The electricity generated is fed to the step-up transformer to increase its volts. Power is fed to the transmission lines for distribution. The output power of hydro power plant depends on the water stored in the reservoir and quality of water. So this is the line diagram of hydropower plant. Reservoir where the water is going to be stored. Here reservoir stores some water, and through this reservoir, through the intake, water is flow into the penstock. Here here water is in potential energy. When it comes through the penstock, here water is converted into kinetic energy. When it passes through the turbine and it rotates, here kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy, and these turbine when this turbine rotates, it produces some generator produces some electricity. Here mechanical energy is converted into um, electrical energy. Then this energy is transmitted to the transformer uh, to rectify its holes. Then power electricity is going to be transferred to household purposes. And here some excess of water is moving from this side river. This water is going to be used for irrigation purpose. So this is the animated video. We can see here a reservoir stored some water, and it intake, here water is flowing, and through a small nozzle here a turbine is rotated, and then it produces some kind of energy mechanic it here mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy, and it passes through the transformer, and from this transformer electricity is going to be passed to household purposes. and the remaining draft tube here you can see this water is used for irrigation purpose. Here basically here water has a potential energy. When it comes into intake, here water is changed to potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. Here kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy, and in generator mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So this is the animated video of hydropower plant. These are some live examples of hydropower plant. Here water, this is we can see we can say this is a reservoir. Here water is stored, and then water is going to be passed through the intake, and the turbine shaft is rotated and it produces some kind of mechanical energy, and it passes through the generator. Their mechanical energy is going to be converted into electrical energy. Then electrical energy is passed through some transformer. Then transformer from electricity is passed to transformer to some household purposes. These are the examples of hydropower plant. Now let us see advantages of hydropower plant. Hydropower plant is renewable energy source that does not require fuel. Here main source of hydropower plant is water. We can get water naturally from any kinds of dams. Then it does not pollute the air like a fuel power plant. Yes, and then hydropower plant is a reliable energy source, and hydropower plant can be used to meet peak electricity demand. And some disadvantages of hydropower plant are: to create a hydropower plant, a running water source must be demanded, because hydropower plant main source is water. Without water we cannot produce electricity in hydropower plant. So running water must be present. If we want to construct a hydropower plant, there must be running water present, and it is a higher initial cost, and a hydropower plant has a flood risk. Environmental impact: while hydropower is cleaner than fossil fuels, it can disrupt local ecosystem. The construction of dams may lead to habitat loss for aquatic and terrestrial species. Mitigation efforts are essential to balance energy protection with environmental protection. Here all the aquatic animals live in water, so if we construct a hydropower plant, it may affect to the aquatic animals. Here some pros and cons of hydropower plant: efficient in meeting high electricity demand, and emission free and reliable in all seasons, because water is available in all seasons. Adjust the flow of water according to need. And cons or impact the marine life, as we discussed earlier. It will harm to the aquatic animals, and some other cons are there. Dams limited to few areas. This is more important one, because dams are not present in every area. Dams are present in limited areas. So this is all about the introduction to power plants and working of hydropower plant, and some advantages and disadvantages of hydropower plant. So thank you for this opportunity.